And good morning, Savannah and the Low Country. It's the coach and the AD on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, live from Coach's Corner inside, not in the sound garden. And remember, the show is presented every week on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. Karl DeMasi,
Coach Griffin.
I usually get excited about this, but, I'll give you the guess quick. We're going to start off the show talking to John Nelson from Georgia Public Broadcasting Sports. There's a reason why I had to have this man on. We'll get to that in a second. Our second guest will be Matt Lezotte with a big win last night. The Wildcats against the Wildcats. They went down to Camden and won. Our athlete of the week, this young man committed, I think, about a month ago to go play football at the University of South Carolina, and that's Antario Brown from Beach High School. Then we got Baker Woodward coming on after Antario to talk about Savannah Christian's big win. And then we're going to try something new. We're going to give you some highlights of yesterday's football games. But anyway, Chad, we can go over the football scores, but I got to get to this guy quick. I was on my way back to school yesterday from picking up lunch from here, okay? And I got a call from Dennis Knight, and he was asking me, I need some quotes about Tommy Palmer. Yeah, I had no idea. And he says, you don't know? I said, no, I don't know. And Tommy Palmer passed away Thursday night, right before kickoff. Well, we did kickoff Wednesday and Thursday. It's unbelievable that it happened when football season started. Tommy Palmer, Georgia High School Scoreboard Show, 2005 until last year. Until he got sick, and I'm just devastated.
Yeah, someone who's just been a Friday night staple in the state of Georgia for so long. And, I had a hard time last night finding the show, driving back last night from Prince Avenue, and you just felt like it's not going to be the same without Tommy and that voice and just his character and his passion and love and his relationships that he had with people from across the state that would call in, and just how he managed that for hours on end every Friday night. It's just a wonderful experience to listen to him.
Well, it's funny because, I started coaching in Groves in 2003, and I got a call in 2005 from this guy from, Statesboro. I said, I knew about the Georgia High School Scoreboard Show, but I never put it together. It was Tommy Palmer. He says, Coach, I want you to come on my show. It'll be after your game or before your game. I want you to talk to you. And it just wound up that for 15 years or 14 years, I was the coastal correspondent for the Georgia High School Scoreboard Show. But let's bring this guy on. He's waiting on the Coach's Corner hotline from the internets. This is Tommy Palmer's crony. Him and Tommy, are Georgia football. John Nelson from Georgia Public Broadcast System, journalist here for over 25 years, a born and bred Georgia guy. I got John, that video, that tribute that you did or posted yesterday, which I'm going to play at the end of this interview. It's about 4 minutes long. It's unbelievable. But Georgia high school football after games is not going to be the same, if you ask me.
No, first and foremost, Jesse Jug did a tremendous job in piecing that together and finding all of those separate parts of Tommy's tenure at GPB. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I love Tommy very much. And that is something that, as I said in the piece, it's something I will always treat Tommy as a present tense because of how I hold him as dearly as I do. And yeah, last night was tough. It was an odd feeling last night to keep an eye on what's going on all around the state, whether, you're talking about what Matt was able to do against Bob Spire in Camden County, whether you're talking about what Valdosta did with Rush Probst in the beginning of their administration. And a lot of the games, Chad's game where you get to see Brock Vandegrift close up. All of these different plot lines from Craven County and Gunner Stockton traveling all the way over to basically the Central Time Zone to take on Richmond last night. All of these different stories, all these different plot lines, and Tommy wasn't a part of it. It was a very odd feeling last night for sure.
Yeah, we know for years. I got to Georgia here in 2002. And it was always, especially you felt so in touch coming back, especially from rural areas around the state. For us coming back where it was Jenkins County or ECI or Johnson County, you just felt that connection like you were a part of the fabric of Georgia high school football. You didn't have to feel like you were from Metro Atlanta. So the people that reached out was from all across the corners of the state. and you just felt so connected. And that's what made I think that's what makes Georgia high school football so special is you had the ambassadors. You have the ambassadors like Tommy Palmer. He will always be, to me, be the ambassador of Georgia high school football from that standpoint. Just weaving that story. You know, it's like, and I always love hearing him talk about the Daisy Boys. We had him on and we talked about that. He could weave it together so well, and he just made you feel like you're just sitting in your living room, you know, just as comfortable as you could be listening about football. It was just a great experience.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I've always tried to maintain this as well. And it doesn't matter if you're from Savannah or Millen or Sylvania or Twin Cities, as I like to call it. You know, Graymont Summit. I always would call the Twin City Graymont Summit in Emmanuel County. It's Statesboro, it's Dublin, it's Darien, it's Kingsland, it's Ludowici, it is it is all points in between, and it doesn't matter. I've always said that it doesn't matter how big you are or how small you are as a town or as a community or as a school. The more we're different, the more we're the same.
Yeah.
And I've always enjoyed telling the stories of somebody in Hazelhurst as much as I have telling the story in a big city.
Yeah.
And as you guys know, from where you guys have been to games and where you covered things, I mean, Chad, last night you were in Bogart. And you're getting to see what high school football is all about. And so for me, it's a great unifier. And Tommy was the voice that brought all of us together on these Friday nights, and it's a very, very special feeling and a very, very special ability to treat all of our children the same. And that's what I've tried to do, is make sure that all of our children are equal here. I love, when I sit there, people sit there on some shows, they'll say, okay, well, who's going to win this game, or who's going to win this game, or who's your favorite to do this or that? And I say, my favorite at the end of the year is the team that scores the most points at the end of the game. The person that scores one more point. If you want me to pick a winner, I will never do that, because, as I say, I love all of my children equally, and I love them all the same. And that's just how I'm wired. It's just like, look, I want to be there for the enjoyment. I want to be there for the stories. And to have Tommy as that sounding board for me as a part of this, I thought it was a big part of it too.
I mean, I can remember coming home. I don't know what game it was. I was on a bus ride. I might have been from Bradwell. It might have been from Camden County, but I would bring my little Walkman. Okay, that's how old my Walkman was. And I would listen to his show on the bus ride back. And one kid says to me, "Coach, what's that thing you're using?" I said, "It's a Walkman." "What do you mean it's a Walkman?" It's like your little, what were you using then? The little iPods. And I said, "I'm listening to Tommy Palmer. I'm listening to the scoreboard show." He says, "Coach, you going to let us know who won?" I said, "As soon as he tells us about the teams from Savannah, I will do it." But you know what, John? Just a gentle giant. Mm-hmm. You had to love the guy. I mean, just a gentle giant. Like you said, you'd have people calling in from all over the state. And then I forgot who I was talking to last night. Somebody was telling me, they get somebody from a small town, and Johnny ran for 1 yard on the first play. Then Jimmy took the ball and got sacked for 6 yards. And he let the person calling in tell their story, and he wouldn't interrupt. He wouldn't change it. And he was so gracious and appreciative that people would call him, and everybody was his friend. And in reality, everybody was a brother to him. And I'm lost for words. I mean, I can't believe it. I talked to him 2 weeks ago before the Calvary scrimmage. I said, "Tommy, it's Friday night. I miss hearing you." I said, "I'm going to miss it." He says, "Coach, you know what? We got to do what we got to do. I'm fighting. I'm living my life. I feel good." And it's the last I had from him. And, he said, "I'll talk to you later, my friend." I said, as he says, every time you hang up with him, I said, "Tommy, I'll talk to you too." And I never did.
Well, one of the things that I've always said to people when I talk to them on the phone, and, Tommy was no different, I always make a point at the end of a conversation to tell somebody that I love them. Because honestly, you never know when the next time you're going to talk to that person is going to be. And B, sadly, there are times when you may not get to talk to that person ever again. So, and I don't know when this started, for me, to be perfectly honest. It might have been when my dad passed a decade ago. But For me, I always make a point to tell folks I love you, because that way you're not leaving anything unsaid. Everything's on the table, everything is laid out, and it's just right there for everybody. So it's just something that I've conditioned myself to do, and it was pretty instantaneous. It's like, that's just how it is. And every time I talk to Tommy, I would hang up the phone with him and I'd say, Tommy, I love you. I'll talk to you soon. And he'd go, love you too, brother, because that was just, how we were. And to have a brother like that, to have family like that, to lose someone like that, it stinks. And I could put about 7 underlines there and turn it into italicized, bold-faced print with about 9 different exclamation points behind it, but it stinks. We're lesser for it. But I think at the same time, we have a responsibility now to continue to carry on his ideals when it came to Friday nights, whether it's what you guys are doing here on this show, whether it's what you're doing on the network, whether it's what you're doing as administrators or coaches or someone who is tied to a program. We now have this responsibility to everyone that we touch in whatever aspect of life we're in, to carry on what Tommy meant, to carry on what Tommy did, and to carry on who Tommy is through whatever part of high school we are.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that you're right. We have a responsibility to pick up that torch and continue to carry it, because that's what he would have wanted. He wants these stories told about these towns, these student athletes, and these coaches, and what football meant to him and what football means to the state of Georgia. That's why, I think that's why the SEC is playing. It means more. And I think it does. I think it just means more in these places, these towns, these communities. And you're right. We have the responsibility to continue to carry that on and continue to tell the stories.
And, yeah, Coach, this season is going to be weird. If last night was any indicator, it was just a very odd feeling. And I'm looking at the chat right now, and I see that Matt Lezotte's in with us, and he says he's going to miss that voice, Tommy. We all are. I already do. I was fortunate enough to have him as a co-pilot, a co-conspirator, a friend, a brother.
A crony.
Yeah, well, yeah, partner in crime. And
you guys work well with each other. Chad and I are doing a great job here. We work well. I'm just telling you, when you two got together or your podcast, I was engulfed. It's just something special. And
quick story before I go, and I know I'm up against it.
Yep.
Best story that I can give you, and it pulls the curtain back on television. It goes back to 2007 in the championship game at Martin Stadium down at Lowndes between North Gwinnett and Lowndes. Lowndes, Greg Reed, firepower, Randy McPherson, all that stuff. You know how, guys, when we're watching the weather on our local station, and you know that you're in trouble when that box, that outlined box is right there with you? We were the box. It was right on top of us. Severe thunderstorms, all that stuff. We were right there in the box. And the way that Martin Stadium used to be was, before they renovated it, and it was after this game was when they were going to start renovating it, is the western side was the press box side, and it was concrete. There's a reason they call it the concrete palace. It was concrete. It had no windows, and it was basically cement, open air, cement, open air, cement, open air all the way through. Tommy's doing PA for the Georgia High School Association for this game. We are the box. We get through the open for TV purposes. So we do the introductions, all that kind of stuff. Everything's fine. We go to commercial. In commercial, the skies open up. And 40 cubits of wood open up. This is really wild stuff. And it was like this the entire game, for those of you who remember. Tommy's doing PA, and that wind is carrying the rain on his back from the open air side of the press box. And the seats were on a concrete slab, basically. So it's like concrete slab is your desk, seats are underneath it, and there's no place for the water to go. So for this entire game, Tommy and everyone in the press box is getting all of this water just pouring in with no drain. Tommy tells me after the fact, I had to drive to Waycross last night because that was where the GHSA housed us. I blew through 2 pairs of shoes and had to throw them away because of how things were in that press box. We were completely flooded out. And he said, I'm driving to Waycross, and I get there, I get in the car the next day, and I sit in my car, and it doesn't feel right. And so I said, well, why didn't it feel right? I mean, the day after, for me, it was an entirely different story. But he says, my seat was so soaked from me sitting in it and having all of my clothes completely and totally wet that the seat in his car was completely and totally just drenched for another day and a half after the game and after he got in the car and drove to Waycross. So 2 pairs of shoes and a driver's seat completely and totally gone after the rains there in 2007.
Yeah, he definitely was a trooper. And I remember, was it last year? 2 years ago that he did the game at the Georgia State complex now, and it was pouring, it was cold. Was he there with you guys?
He was there with us, but he did the Irwin County game last year. He started off that coverage for that day with Larry Smith.
A little cold that day, too.
As someone who presented the trophies, I'm aware. Thank you.
Well, John, I'm going to play your segment, your dedication to a man that we all love, Tommy Palmer. I appreciate you doing this. I know you got a busy schedule this morning, and I know it was last minute. I got that brainstorm, and you know what? I got to start my show about Tommy Palmer, and there's no better person than his crony, his buddy, his little buddy, because he towered over you, John Nelson. I really do appreciate it.
John, thank you, man. We love you. Appreciate it. Keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Love you guys. Talk soon.
And as you said, you just said it. Love you, brother.
Love you, man.
All right, Matt, hold on. I got to play this segment. This is to Tommy Palmer. I'll say it a million times, and I'll say it till I don't walk the earth anymore. This is the voice of Georgia football, Georgia high school football. Watch. Produced or done by John Nelson. I forget who produced it.
And Calhoun will bring the kitchen sink. Here they come.
And they're looking at the replay in disbelief.
Oh, my.
If you try and look for Daisy, Georgia, it may take you a while, even these days with the help of search engines and GPS devices that we use every day. Population from the 2010 census, 129. But that town, 5 miles east of Claxton, was where Tommy Palmer was born, 9 pounds, 10 ounces, and a week early. He grew up in Evans County, played football at Claxton High as an offensive lineman. He broke down his playing career to Todd Holcomb over at the GHSF Daily once in his 4 Questions column, quote, I played for the Claxton Tigers back when the men were steel and the lockers were wood. I was an offensive tackle and defensive end. I played for one of the best football coaches ever, Dexter Poss, who was an all-SEC defensive end at UGA. He taught us discipline and toughness. We were 18-3 my last 2 years of high school. We had some great players. Johnny Jenkins and Glenn Creech made the All-State team, and Jenkins was back of the year his senior year, end quote. That senior season for Creech and Jenkins, 1961, had Claxton run the table in Class B, but they would lose in the first round of the state playoffs to Blakely Union. For Tommy, his future was talking about the game he loved. He started his career in radio at the age of 16. He would have cups of coffee in radio and television, but your trivia question with him would be, who was the first host of the Irk Russell Show when he started with the Georgia Southern Eagles? That was Tommy. He would work and write in Statesboro and Savannah in radio and television, but the Georgia High School Scoreboard Show would be an anchor for him starting in 2005 through the season past. When Todd asked him about that role, his answer resonated with me too. Quote, the Scoreboard Show is a ball to do. It is probably the most fun show I've ever done on radio. It's live and spontaneous. I'm honored to be a part of Friday Night Football in this state with this show, end quote. His time with Georgia Public Broadcasting started on and off all the way back in 2005.
It's a whole lot more. I don't know who this guy is.
I think I'm Larry Smith. I'm going to check it out, though.
But he would be a fixture of our weekly coverage, bringing his take in his weekly columns and video comments over the last handful of seasons. When Tommy and I would talk about football every week, and not just on the air, we would talk about all the great storylines and people that make up the fabric of these towns. Whether it was about life in Graymont Summit, Twin City now in Emanuel County, or coaches we could call on a moment's notice to get any information about the pulse of the sport, we would always compare notes and share our thoughts. I would tell anyone who would listen that Tommy forgot more about the sport than I will ever remember. I still will. He's always been a great resource, a great sounding board, and a great representative of what Football Fridays mean. Not just on a scoreboard, but to everyone who hangs onto every moment of what they see.
I feel silly introducing you because everyone knows who you are, but it's Tommy Palmer.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. We all need introductions. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Most importantly, he is a great friend. I'll always mention that in a present tense because you have those you love always close to your heart, even if they're not with us physically. I would ask each and every one of you who has been in Tommy's arc that you remember how he handled himself as he valiantly stared cancer in the face and showed grace, class, and humility during the race well run. At the same time, he reminds us to always be there for those you love and always be there for what you love. Tommy Palmer showed us both, and that's our assignment going forward. Bottom line, I will miss him with all my heart.
All I can say is rest in peace, Tommy Palmer. Gonna miss you, buddy. We'll be right back after this with the head coach from Richmond Hill High School, Matt Lezotte.
All time, that's Coach's Corner and Thunderbolt. Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for 20 years running, and it's no wonder why. Sports, live music, delicious and abundant pub food. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. Coach's Corner has been Savannah strong during the COVID-19 pandemic. They are now open for dine-in, lunch, and dinner, but remember, Coach's Corner still has curbside and takeout service. John Harrison and the Coach's Corner crew has still been smoking delicious meats like Boston Butts, ribs, and chicken on the grill. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's 912-352-2933. And don't forget, Saturday night in the Soundgarden is Freebird, the ultimate Leonard Skinner experience. Tickets are priced at $15 to $25, so get yours fast. As always, make it a night to remember at Coach's Corner.
At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School would consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
Over a half century when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, and trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. So come get equipped at Thompson Sports Shop. They are now located at 42 West Montgomery Crossroads, Suite C in Savannah, are open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. each day. So come visit locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, where everyone is a winner.
Yo, you still want some real New York deli and Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road in Savannah, Georgia during this social distancing problem. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering will take calls for pickup at 912-354-2914. That's 912-354-2914 on the phone. Kabish. If you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered, go to savtakeout.com. savtakeout.com to place the order. Remember, Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering, we ain't New York style, we are
Wetherington
New York.
Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time, it makes you mad, the pain drives you crazy, you just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can. At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
All right, well, good
Welcome
evening,
back.
sports fans. Welcome back. It's the coach and the
AD.
Coach
Both
AD.
AD.
We could switch it now because, I'm in that ranks, and I'm telling you, this man has played games and football games and volleyball games. I haven't got there yet, and it's still crazy. Like I just told him, I don't know how he does it. I don't know how I do it, but we do it.
We do it, man. We're here.
And then the next guy does it too with, a wife, 3 kids, and coaching football. It was the Wildcats against the Wildcats last night. And you know what? When I was surprised, Chad, people were surprised that Richmond Hill beat Camden County.
Shouldn't be surprised. If you've been following Richmond Hill over the last couple of years, like, it's not a surprise. They're not like a blip on the radar anymore. I know we're tucked away here in South Georgia, over here on the coast, and everybody else thinks they got football out there in Metro Atlanta, but they need to start paying attention. And if they didn't get a little taste last year, they definitely will get that taste this year.
He was the coach of the year last year for the Savannah Morning News, got to the state semifinals, lost a heartbreaker, but you know what? He's back for more. He's doing it with his brother, and I know he's enjoying it up there because he's building the hill, or I think the hill is building itself right now, don't you?
Oh, the hill is big as it is. So we'll talk about that as well as the numbers and growing numbers at Richmond Hill High School.
Oh, it's unbelievable. And I got to say this straight. Joining us now from the center of the sports universe. I got it. All right, on the Coach's Corner. Internet hot stream, not hotline or hot seat. He's always on the hot seat if you ask me, but he doesn't care. Let's bring him in. The head coach of the Wildcats, Matt Lezotte. Matt, always a pleasure to have you this
What's
early.
up, guys? What's happening? Hey, man, I tell you what, I apologize for my voice being gone a little bit. I'm trying to hammer in some coffee to get that thing back. But man, it was a heck of a night last night.
I mean, you know, with all the turmoil and, of course, Chatham County Public Schools now waiting until October 1st, you had to run out and get games. First game off the bat, you picked one of the biggest schools in the classification. Well, one of the schools from the biggest classification, 7A. You want to play the Camden County Wildcats. You got to go down I-95 to Kingsland and play them, which I call it the College of Camden because that campus is unbelievable. But I didn't think you guys were going to lose. I thought you had a very good shot of winning that game. And, you know, like I've said it before, and I'm not blowing his bubble, but Travis Jadon, that article on your offensive lineman, we also had your quarterback and your kicker. I mean, that offensive line, I mean, you guys are big. I mean, I don't know how anybody's going to get through that brick wall.
Well, I tell you what, if I can say something about our team, you know, I've been asked, you know, what are your goals for the season? What's the outlook? What everything, you know, the one thing about our guys is when we got back on June 8th, and now we started planning and having staff meetings in March to try to come up with a plan. But when we got back on June 8th and we had well over 100 guys every single day for workouts. Now it was a long day when we had groups of 20 now. So we were having to break that thing up. And my wife was wondering what the heck I was doing being at the school so long in June. But you know, we put the time in, our guys put the time in, and there was no light at the end of the tunnel at that moment. And they just continued to work, and they continued to just believe and trust that we were going to do everything that we can. My only goal this season it's not wins and losses. It's about getting my guys an opportunity to play on the field. And any coach that feels differently in 2020 is in it for the wrong reasons. I promise you that. And it matters. It only matters to get these guys on the field when you have an opportunity to go play, to be able to get out there and play. I can't. You know, that win, I sent a message to our seniors this morning. I said, guys, that was all y'all. That was all y'all. Because I was off as a head coach. I promise you that. I did some silly things that maybe we can discuss a little later in this thing. But and I'm laughing. We're laughing about it. I'm texting with my brother this morning, just like, man, I'm an idiot, you know. But you know, our guys played hard and they never flinched. And the one thing that we stayed smooth last year, we just didn't flinch when it got bad. We just never flinched. We had tremendous second quarters last year, and we focused on finishing. We took some lumps early last season, and there were a lot of reasons for those lumps. We were doing some things within our program to grow and to set the tone for what's to come. And these guys have lived up to it every step of the way.
Well, Matt, talk about one. I don't think people truly understand the preparation that's going on since schools have been able to get back in June. And like you said, each week is a gift, man. I mean, you know, so two questions here. Talk about, you know, what the mentality, like you said, you gave a lot of credit to your seniors last night, the mentality of preparation of these kids, knowing and seeing what happened to their fellow student athletes and seniors from the spring last year, had their season ended early, you know, and now these guys coming into this in such a difficult situation, such a difficult not knowing what tomorrow. Like, for instance, last night, 5 hours before Blessed Trinity was supposed to play, they had one case, and our Archdiocese cut them out 3 weeks, 5 hours. Those kids, I talked to Ricky Turner last night from Blessed Trinity, and those kids were just crying. They were upset. Talk about the meal preparation. I feel like that is so important in what's going on this time for these kids, because every day is an unknown. Every day is an unknown. Talk about that. Then also, I want you to talk about what was the atmosphere like last night down there in Camden. So 2-part question for you, Coach.
So the mental preparation and there's a lot of depth to this answer, because I think there was a lot of mental deterioration being in isolation and being cooped up in quarantine when COVID hit. And I think that had as much of a negative impact as the disease itself. And people can argue with me all they want. Oh, whatever. I live it. I live it with these guys, and I see them daily, and I see how much they've grown and developed over that stage. But the thing about it is, we've been very clear and upfront with them about there are no expectations other than one game at a time. I tweeted last night. I said 1. All right, now we move on to 2. And truly, that's how we always approach it at Richmond Hill, and that's how I've always done it. Is we don't care about region championships and region games, not week 2 of the season. Like, we're going to go play. We're going to put our best players on the field, and we're going to give our guys an opportunity to win. And I think our guys really feel that. They understand that we're going to do everything that we can. I'm going to do everything that I can as a head coach to get them football games, to get them on the field. But they have to trust that they have to prepare like they're going to play every single week, even if they don't. And even if something were to happen, we're going to count on our guys to continue to prepare and be ready when they come back to play, because you never know. You never know what happens. Our guys have done a great job of being aware. Our school system, I can't say enough about our school system. I mean, they're proactive. They are decision makers. They make decisions and they stay by them. And when you're a leader, you make decisions, and sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong, but you live with it and you go through the process and you come up with solutions. You don't worry about what's going to happen. You fix the problems. And that's all our school system has done. And it's been phenomenal. It's been amazing. And the trickle-down effect from our Board of Education all the way down to our teachers, down to our students, they've done great wearing masks. And it's been big. And you saw that in the stands last night. You saw our students come down. We had a huge student section. My wife was sitting behind the student section. She was getting entertained. She was loving it with my kids. My wife and my kids made the trip. I have family down in St. Simons. That's where I'm at right now. And they made the trip over. There's something about football, and y'all echoed this in that first segment. Like, football is just different. Brings communities together. What an escape last night. And don't get me wrong, we beat a very good football team in Camden County. Now they're working through some kinks. They had some key players out, and they're developing their program a little bit differently and changing the paradigm a little bit with playing more guys 2 ways, which is going to really benefit them in later September and October once you get those games under your belt. But our guys, man, I can't say enough about our guys. Our guys, our seniors, we have a tremendous senior class, tremendous leadership. But those guys just prepare and get after it, and the expectation, they don't flinch. They expect to win every time they step on the field.
Well, tell us about the game last night. 28-11. You guys come home with the victory. Fun ride back up I-95 for your kids. You took a little right turn there to go to St. Simons. So tell us about the game. What was it like?
Well, we were 2-0, and I'm just going to leave it like that. In one night, we were 2-0. So I'm not going to elaborate on that at all. We're not supposed to. But right. I tell you what, we it was so. We ran 55 plays in the first quarter. Okay, listen, guys, listen. I'm going to share this story, and I don't want people to think I'm an idiot, but I am an idiot. Okay, and self-proclaimed idiot. But I called a timeout with a minute left in the first quarter to get possession of the ball, thinking that I was going to have to kick a field goal with them punting the ball before the half, and it was the end of the first quarter.
Hey, man, without listen, man.
I was rusty, man. I was rusty.
We saw it last night. I mean, even at Prince and us, there was, and coaches talked about it. The coaches I talked to last night on the way home just talked about without the preseason scrimmage, without working like live. You can only do live so much against yourself before you really can issue like game speed and situational stuff. You can prep it. I've watched our team prep 2 minutes. I've watched them do this. I watched them do that. Until the live bullets are flying in a real situation, you just can't mimic it. And losing that scrimmage was tough for a lot of teams. Some was harder than others to see live and do things and get things on film. But listen, you guys had a tremendous job, did a tremendous job. And, I don't think people understand, one, how big Richmond Hill is growing. And it's, they're building an exit off the interstate, another exit off the interstate for Richmond Hill. I mean, if that don't tell you anything, just the growth of that community and the community support, like you said, from administration down, board education, they're all on board. They're all thinking the same way. You got a new school going up as well, right?
We do. And, it's growing. And we have a decent number of students that have made the choice to e-learn. But our hallways are still rocking and rolling. Our kids are excited to be back at school. We're building a new school, building new subdivisions popping up all the time. It's really growing. When you talk about building the hill, we are in a bunch of different venues and areas. It's growing. We're excited about the part that we play. We feel like our football program has a responsibility to reflect our community, period. And it's not about Richmond Hill football. And since I've been at Richmond Hill, I've tried to be as clear as I can be with that. It is not about Richmond Hill football. It is about Richmond Hill. We are a small piece of the puzzle. That's why we came up with Build the Hill, and we developed it a few years ago, and it's become a brand because it's not about the football. It's about how can we grow this thing? How can we develop it? The toughest part this summer was having the number of guys that we had and coming up with a plan to get those guys work. And I'll tell you what, guys, COVID presented an opportunity for coaches to grow, for players to grow and get experience and to get exposure and to get reps like they've never gotten before. When we have a program, we have close to 140 players in our program, and to get them reps during team sessions at practice is tough. Getting reps during the summertime when we were able to get the balls out and go wasn't as tough because the groups were smaller. So, I'm taking a look and turn this negative thing into a positive, and we're going to continue to grow and develop our guys. We're really excited about the future, but the future is this week, and we're going to hold on tight to everything that we've got. But I'm blessed to work in this school system. I can't believe across the state there's so many conflicting views about what's going on. I feel blessed to work in the school system, and I know 140 dudes that put on that helmet every day that feel blessed to be able to go out there and show off their hard work.
All right. Other than that, you going to Ware County this week? Are you away or home?
We're away. We're going to be playing in Waycross. Coach Strickland and I, man, we've been in contact a lot. We're trying to get some sub-varsity games going too, man. It's just the same thing with people backing out on playing games, just trying to get as many games as possible for our players at the ninth grade, the JV, and the varsity level.
We'll tell your coach. We need games for sub-varsity. We'll play your ninth grade group. Contact Coach Stroud. We had 2 people drop last week.
Really?
Trying to find games for these kids who, just like your kids, are working out. We might have 60 kids. You got 140. These kids need to play, man. They work so hard. So if you want to take your ninth graders and come play us, let Coach Stroud know, man. We'd love to try to get it done.
Man, we'll be in touch because that's what it's about. It goes back to that first thing, man. 2020 is about football games. It's about bringing communities together, about getting these guys on the field. Wins and losses, somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose every Friday night. That's just the way it always has been. But this is not about wins and losses. This is strictly about the kids having an opportunity to showcase their abilities and to move on.
Coach, great job. Big win. We'll be watching the Wildcats against the Gators next Friday night. And like you said, 1 game at a time. This is number 2. Go get them. And you know what? Take it from the old football coach, head football coach like you. Hey, we make stupid calls or idiotic moves sometimes, and people question us. You know what, though? It's all about the kids, and that's what you're doing, Coach. You're doing a great job.
That's it. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me on. Build the hill.
Yeah, man. Keep at
it.
Hey, call Coach Stroud.
I will. Thanks.
Yep.
I mean, what more can you say? A young guy, energetic, loves his kids, loves the community, fits into that community so well. Came in, has done a great job. I mean, and the community has wrapped themselves around him and his brother and his coaching staff. And I mean, they're just doing a great job there.
Yeah, I mean, the community's just exploded, and in that standpoint. And listen, you get 2,700 kids in your high school. You're going in just the way the Richmond community is. You're seeing it. You see it in baseball. You're seeing it now in football. They're not. It's not an afterthought of, hey, here's just a school sunk over here in Richmond Hill. I mean, they're really doing tremendous things. The community, build the hill, that mentality, and they're all involved. Like Hayes, my son's got friends that are in Richmond Hill Middle School. He plays baseball with, and God, the numbers in their middle school
it's unbelievable.
Is unbelievable. They got 2 or 3 teams just within their middle school as well. So great job, Coach. Best of luck to you this week.
And as usual, running a little behind, but who cares?
The next guy
is up. He's from AE Beach High School. I mean, he made a big impression last year on the football field. I mean, against BC. And people have noticed, and this young man committed to go play football at the next level at the University of South Carolina from AE Beach High School. Bulldog himself, Antario Brown. I mean, great kid. Talked to him during the week. He's ready to go. He's
in about 3 minutes, man.
We just got to take care of our sponsors. So up next, Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week, Antario Brown from Beach High School. It's the coach and AD on the Karl DeMasi Sports Sport, all part of the Coach's Corner Sports Network. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
All the time, that's Coach's Corner in Thunderbolt. Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for 20 years running, and it's no wonder why. Sports, live music, delicious and abundant pub food. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. Coach's Corner has been Savannah strong during the COVID-19 pandemic. They are now open for dine-in, lunch, and dinner, but remember, Coach's Corner still has curbside and takeout service. John Harrison and the Coach's Corner crew has still been smoking delicious meats like Boston butts, ribs, and chicken on the grill. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's 912-352-2933. And don't forget, Saturday night in Soundgarden is Freebird, the ultimate Leonard Skinner experience. Tickets are priced at $15 to $25, so get yours fast. As always, make it a night to remember at Coach's Corner.
At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School would consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
Over a half century when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, and trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. So come get equipped at Thompson Sports Shop. They are now located at 42 West Montgomery Crossroads, Suite C in Savannah, are open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. each day. So come visit locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, where everyone is a winner.
Yo, you still want some real New York deli and Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road in Savannah, Georgia during this social distancing problem. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering will take calls for pickup at 912-354-2914. That's 912-354-2914 on the phone. Kabish. If you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered, go to savtakeout.com, savtakeout.com to place the order. Remember, Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering, we ain't New York style, we are
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time, it makes you mad, the pain drives you crazy, you just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can. At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
All right, we're back here. We're at Coach's Corner, the Center of the Sports Universe here. You're listening to Coach DeMasi and Coach Griffin here on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, and we have a fantastic young man we're getting ready to talk to, Antario Brown, Beach High School, University of South Carolina commit. And, man, Karl, this young man is special. I'm so glad we get to have him on and talk about his breakthrough last year. And I also want to talk to him about where he played youth football at growing up. Where did he, so we got some great questions here for Antario. You ready for this?
I mean, he came on the scene and it was Halloween night. He racked up almost 400 all-purpose yards against Beach High School.
He was Benedictine. Yeah, against BC.
He plays for Beach. He did it against
He
Benedictine.
scared them, though, that's for sure. Let me tell you.
He definitely scared them. I mean, just an unbelievable kid. A lot of colleges looking at him. West Virginia, North Carolina State, Virginia Tech, South Carolina. He chose South Carolina. This week's Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week from AE Beach High School, Rising Bulldog, Senior Rising Bulldog, Antario Brown. And he's joining us now on the Coach's Corner Internet Hotline. Antario, thanks for coming on. You got your mic on? Try it now. All right, we can't hear you.
See if we turn your volume. See if it's a volume thing. You have muted, smart. Can't hear you.
How about the volume? You raise the volume on the it's all the way up? Yeah, take your time. We got time.
Yeah, man, you're good.
You're good.
We think we might get him back on his phone.
All right. Are you on your phone or a laptop? What did you say laptop?
Yeah, he said laptop.
You want to try and connect with your phone?
All right, while Antario is doing that, we're going to tell you a little bit about Antario. Like I said, last Halloween, playing Benedictine, big game, all right, and he runs for over 400 yards that night and about takes out BC single-handedly, and I'm sure that's what we're going to talk to him about, what his recruiting looked like before that game and what his recruiting looked like after that game. But here's a young man, Beach High School, 5'10", 210 pounds. That's solid as a rock, without a doubt. And so we can bring him in on.
All right, let's try this one. Let's take this one. There you go. Let's hear you. There we go. Yeah, you're there.
Man, you the man. Great job. All these young kids in technology, they got this, man.
Yeah.
It's nice being here, though. It's nice.
Oh, well, it's great having you. Great talking during the week. And as we were saying, against Benedictine, close to 400 yards. What was that night like for you?
I kind of didn't see that coming, man. So it was kind of surprising to me, man. Doing that, not doing it throughout the whole season. I had some good games here and there, man, but that night kind of stood out. Like you said, almost 400 all-purpose yards, man, and I feel like it kind of did get me out there more. So it was good. I liked it.
Like, talking about your recruiting. 5'10", 210 pounds. You're solid as a rock, and you throw your speed on there, running, sub 4.5, 4.3 speed. So talk about what did recruiting look like, before that game and after that game. What did it totally catapult you and change, or was there schools on the radar before that?
There was no schools before that. I had no clue I was going to be recruited after that. I was right here before that game. I was right here, and after that game, I went to MVP camp, and it went up like all the way. So it kind of is just one game can change your life.
So talk about. I got a question. So from that standpoint, you said you went to the MVP camp afterwards. Were you going to camps prior to that game, or was this game specifically like your launching point, and you had this great game? It's like, all right, now I'm going to go to this combine, or I'm going to go to this, showcase or whatever. Were you going to that stuff prior to this game?
No, sir. I always had a trainer, Coach James. Started training him back like way before that game, but I never been to the camp before that game. Never.
And so that game was your launching point. And once you did that, basically you went to that camp and you ran a 4.3 at that camp. And so you take that game and you throw that 4.3 out there at 5'10", 5'10", 210, and it started lighting up, huh?
Yes, sir. Every coach that recruited me so far always talk about that game. They sit on my film a lot, and it was like, I can't believe you caught the ball like that. You're a back that can catch, you're an all-purpose back. So, yeah, that game kind of helped me a lot. It did. It helped me a lot.
Perfect segue into my question, okay? Catch the ball, running the ball, the mental part of the game, seeing the holes, where to cut, what to do. So if I had to talk to, of course, Coach Hawthorne, my big dog, and now you got Coach Phillips, who I told you was my defensive line coach when I was over at Groves High School. If I had asked them what your best skill is, what would they tell me on a football field?
Very elusive. My vision. I have great vision, and just finishing through contact, man.
Oh, he finishes through contact.
Yes, sir. So I'm very elusive. Lateral quickness. I'm pretty fast.
I know it's not all from point A to point B. You got to be able to go sideways. You got to have agility.
Yeah.
You're pretty strong. So, in the weight room, what's your routine to make you a stronger player?
I'm not really a weight room guy, but
okay.
I like squatting a lot. And I just feel like preparation, if you prepare and, like, if you lift, if you practice hard, you're going to play hard, man. So preparation, that's just the key to everything that I do.
Well, so I'm going to go back to the college recruiting aspect because I love talking about that stuff. As, the season was ending and after the when did you go to the combine?
I went to the combine back in February because I went to a junior day at Georgia Southern. And, like, I would say 4 days later, I went to that combine. I tried to tell the Georgia Southern running back coach a little bit about myself and my stats. He was hearing that with me, but yeah.
Well, so all right, so you go to combine, you had this great game against BC, you go to combine in February. What did recruiting look like pre-COVID? And what did recruiting, because did you get to go visit any campuses or anything before COVID hit?
Georgia Southern, yeah. Well, because it wasn't in full effect yet. You can still go on junior days and stuff like that. So I went to Georgia Southern. That's it. That's the only. And recruiting through COVID, it's kind of shaky, man. You don't know when you're gonna get that text, man. It's a lot of dead periods, a lot of stuff going on through COVID. So you just gotta be patient, man.
So, of course, you're watching on the internet. You're watching the Coach and AD on the Karl DeMasi Sports Board on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. We're here talking live with the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week, Antario Brown out of AE Beach High School. Athletes set goals, okay? Did you have a certain motto, or did you have something that motivated you to reach this goal or to know that you're going to go one step further and play in college?
I play for people, my mom, my friend, people that's in my heart, they pass. So that's just what I go by, man. Every time I step on the field, it's for them. Every time I'm in the classroom, it's for them. So that's what I go by. I don't have no phrase or anything. Yeah, so I just play for them.
Loved ones driving you, and we saw the article, great article by Dennis Knight in the Savannah Morning News about your life when you signed with South Carolina, and you've dealt with a lot of adversity, and you've kept your nose to the grind, and you're going straight, which was really respectable, and I think a lot of coaches will notice that too.
Yeah, most definitely.
So, Antario, talk about, one thing we always ask is you take a young man like yourself who's overcome adversity but has such a, just driven mentality. Give advice to these young student athletes that, or will watch this, or if you want to pass on wisdom to someone, to your younger self back in 9th grade or even before that, what advice or wisdom would you pass on to these younger student athletes that, hey, guys, if you'll just do this, if you'll think this way, talk about the wisdom you would want to pass on to a younger version of yourself.
I'm pretty sure everybody knows this, but how I look at it as never in your life give up on something that you love and you ever dream. Like, if you dream about it, never give it up, man. Got to keep going no matter how hard it get. You can be, for example, you can be the 5th running back on the team, but if you see yourself on the field Friday night, you got to keep going. Practice hard, man. Train outside of when you're not with the team. Train hard in the weight room, man. Don't give up. Don't give up. It's always your chance is coming. It's always coming, man.
All right, well, tell us about the experience over there at AE Beach High School. I mean, a lot of people that go to that school, a lot of the alumni bleed that blue and gold, and you're part of that. Tell us about AE Beach High School, the administrators, the teachers, your coaches, your peers.
Beach is a great school. Teachers is pretty cool, man. They help you as much as they can. You just got to want it for yourself. The administrators are hard on you. They're going to make sure you do your work and get out of there, most definitely. And my teammates, cool guys, man. We bond a lot like brothers. It's a great school all around, man. Just the atmosphere there. Forever blue and gold.
Tell me about the big dog, Coach Hawthorne. I know he's not here for your senior year, but, I mean, he's taken you the last 3 years.
Yeah, Coach Hawthorne is a mentor to me. I talk to him every day. Kind of look up to him in a way. That's my role model, man. From when I played in 10th grade, he always told me, man, this gonna be your team. This is going to be your team, so you got to get ready for it. And it always stuck with me, man. So everything Big Coach say, I take it to heart and I listen because he's a great guy, seriously. And I didn't want him to retire. I just told him 1 more year, Coach, 1 more year, but he got to get up out of there.
He is the big dog.
Yeah.
Hey, Antario, I think people got to understand to be a student athlete is a little bit different. Anybody can go be an athlete and work hard and those things. But to be a student athlete and get to the level that you're getting to with the schools that was recruiting you, you have to be able to do the work in the classroom. Talk about that. Talk about what it means to be a student athlete and the time you got to put in to make those. You might have all the talent in the world athletically, don't have the books part, then your windows get limited and your choices get limited. And obviously, you've done the work in the classroom. So talk about that a little bit as well.
Well, in order to get to a P5 school or any college, man, you got to stay on top of your grades, no matter what. I feel like one slip up, it can cost you your whole college future, education, academics-wise, besides the football part, because you're a student athlete. So, I mean, of course, student comes before the athlete part, Try to stay above that 3.5 GPA, man. Work hard. You're going to have to sacrifice some nights, stand up an extra 4 hours. That's just come with the student part, man. So, yeah.
It does.
Treat it as you would treat it like on the field.
All right, my last question for you. So you're going to South Carolina. You're going to be a Gamecock, and I know you're going to tell me you're going to compete as a freshman, and you want to try and get where you want to get. But after this is all over, what's your dream job after college? What does Antario Brown want to do after he's done with college? We know the NFL, but let's take after sports are over.
I'm not sure yet, actually. There's a lot of things in the world. I'm not sure, man. I don't know.
Well, you know what? Most freshmen don't know.
Yeah.
That's why you go and get the experience. Hey, my question is, so you had, South Carolina, Virginia Tech, NC State, West Virginia. What was it about South Carolina and Coach Muschamp, that said, hey, man, this is where I want to be? I mean, you got a lot of offers out there, big schools, great schools academically as well. What was it about South Carolina that says, hey, man, that's where I want to go spend my next 4 years?
I want to put it like this. South Carolina was it was the first offer I had. It was the first Power 5 school that ever offered me. I had 2 schools before them, but they was like Northern Illinois and the Citadel, So what stuck out to me was South Carolina, Coach Muschamp, Coach Kitchens, Coach Bobo, the energy they give me, I feel like they always told me the truth, man, and I fit into the offensive scheme. I met some of the players. They're pretty cool, man. They telling me about how life is on campus, how the whole system works there. It's a great fan base, man.
Yes.
It's electric. I'm pretty sure you guys know. But yeah, man. But what really stood out to me was just just the part, like, I looked up something about Coach Muschamp, and he has a history of starting, like, freshmen and stuff like that. So I want to go there and compete. You know I'm able to do it, and just if I do that, I know I can be a true freshman and help the city of South Carolina, or the state of South Carolina. I'm sorry.
Well, I tell you, you got you got a quarterback coming in with you, Gunnar Stockton, one of the top quarterbacks in the nation, man. So your class is looking awfully good at University of South Carolina. So Coach Muschamp and them guys are doing a great job recruiting. Man, we're so proud of you. Looking forward to your future. You'll be able to see Gunnar Stockton next week. He'll be on ESPNU playing Prince Avenue and Vandergrift, who's going to Georgia. So you got two SEC guys that you're probably going to see the next 4 years compete against her. And this man right here in the backfield for University of South Carolina.
Yes, sir. Gunnar, is he 22, class of 22?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. That's a great dude. I actually got a chance to text with him and stuff like that. It's a great dude, man. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Antario, great job, great career. I'm glad I finally got to hook up with you. I've been trying for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and this guy's been saying, did you get the running back from Beach yet? Did you get the running back from Beach yet? But I know you're going to do big things, and hopefully October 1st we'll see you back on that football field. Thanks for coming on. Hey, you're doing a great job, kid, and we're behind you. And people know who Antario Brown is. Make sure you remember that.
Yes, sir.
Proud of you, man. Great job. Go get them. Have fun. Enjoy every moment of it.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Hey, before go Gamecocks, go Bulldogs.
Go Bulldogs.
Awesome.
I mean, a great kid.
Unbelievable.
What he had a face. Sorry, Coach, I didn't mean to bring you on so quick. Just a great kid. Just a lot of adversity in his life. If you go read Dennis Knight's story in the Savannah Morning News about Antario Brown's life, you'll know why this kid has excelled and the adversity this kid has faced. And losing your mom and losing a good friend, he's got a lot to motivate him.
Yeah, you can tell he plays. Like he said, he doesn't play for he plays not for stats, not for stuff, but he plays for people. I thought that was a great line from a 18-year-old kid who's like, hey, I'm not playing for myself. I'm playing for others. The things I do, what I'm doing, how I'm doing, the work I'm putting in is not just for me. It's for people I represent. And for a kid, for a young man to have that mentality, also to go through what he's gone through at such a young age, maturity level is off the chart. And that's why you got colleges,
wanting him
because you can't teach maturity, and he's got it.
No, you can't, and he does a great job, and he has a great mentor over there in Coach Ulysses Hawthorne.
Without doubt, man.
You want to meet the nicest guy in the world, the guy that cares about his kids, stayed at Beach for over 25 years coaching football. You got to understand why. All right, I'm going to throw a little curveball here at the AD. I promised this guy that I would get him out of here by 10:10. We're running behind, so we got to bring him right on. We'll thank our sponsors in a couple of minutes, but just remember, this is all made possible by John Henderson, Adele Henderson here at Coach's Corner. Once again, thank you, Dr. Bart Wetherington, for supporting our Athletes of the Week for the last 10 years that I've been doing this. But joining us now, had a big game last night. Big win over there in Pula, home opener, beating ECI 38-7, 38-14, 38-7, right? What's the score?
You got it.
38-14.
Yeah, 38-14.
38-14. I know he was a little upset when they scored that touchdown on no time on the clock at the halftime. Joining us now on the Coach's Corner hotline, the man himself, the head ball coach, former Cavalier, now coaching the Raiders. Last week we talked to a former Raider that coaches the Cavaliers, and that's Baker Woodward. Baker, thanks for coming on. I know we got to get out of here because you got to go to another show. But once again, congratulations. Big win last night.
Oh, thanks so much, man. Our guys worked hard, and, finally we get some reward for all the work we've been putting in,
Yeah, Coach, everybody knows that this has just been a different time. Each and every day, you don't know what's going to happen. We were talking about before, Blessed Trinity gets, 5 hours for game time, comes out, and they can't go play. And so now they're out for like 3 weeks. And so just talk to people about the process of that, the mentality you're taking every day with your team to understand, like, hey, you don't know what today's going to be like. And you've experienced some of that. So just talk about that, with your team.
Yeah, our motto, just like, all good programs have a motto, and I know you guys got a motto over there at Calvary, but ours this year is to be resilient. And, even in our pregame speech last night, I was talking to our seniors. I said, listen, you never know, man. You may not be playing next week, and And so, guys, take advantage of all this stuff. Even at practice, we got to quit saying, "Oh, we have to practice in the heat." You know what? We get to practice in the heat, and that's what we're trying to tell these guys. And we had a great baseball team last year, and I know they were looking forward to having a great season, and they didn't get to finish. And so we're playing for each other. We're playing for the Raider community, and we get to do it. We don't have to. We get to. But we're just taking it 1 week at a time.
Well, I was there last night, and I'm going back and forth with doing the producer stuff too. So, but I was there last night for the first half, and I don't know how you are, but I'm an old ball coach. ECI held on to that ball for almost 9 minutes, but you guys didn't break. You didn't break, which was pretty impressive, especially when you fumbled the punt and they got the ball, but they went backwards instead of going forwards. What were you thinking at that point?
No, honestly, I've known ECI before, and they have a great program. Coach Kirsten does a tremendous job, and I kind of figured, not being able to play in a real game yet, and a 250-pound, looking at the guy at warm-ups, it said it was 225, but, I think it was probably closer to 250, and I'm just thinking, I hope that guy doesn't get loose, and he did. He got loose a couple times, but, we knew they were going to come out and punch us in the mouth. It was just a matter of withstanding that and hoping we can get our hands on the ball, and our offense responded and, was able to score in like 3 quick plays. But, I can't say enough about our defense. That's not an easy offense to defend because they're getting 3 yards. They converted, I think, 3 4th downs in the first half.
Yes, they did.
That takes a lot out of your defense. And then, of course, we fumble a punt, but thankfully they got a penalty. And but I was happy with our guys, and even a guy like George Futch, who we talk about being resilient. He dropped 3 balls, and his head's down. He's lying on the ground, and I was like, hey, we're about to come right back to you. And he responded, and just great lessons learned in the first night, and just happy to be able to get a chance to play a game.
Coach, talk about your senior quarterback. You talking about, we talked to Coach Lezotte and how much his seniors is meant to the leadership aspect of his team, especially during COVID and over COVID and getting back on the field. Talk about how vital that is. You got a senior quarterback that's been in the fold so many years now, and just talk about his leadership, not just last night, but through this process and what that's meant to the Raider program. Well,
he's been taking snaps from Justin McGinnis since he was in the 5th grade, and it's just awesome to see that Justin and Spencer have been taking snaps this many years together. And Spencer, the first 2 years, I never even heard him speak. I didn't know he could talk. And this year, I let it. He got a couple of interviews last year, and he got some interviews this year. And he's been a tremendous leader. And I'm telling you, of course, I feel like we have some good coaches, but it's just great players that make good coaches. And Spencer's one of those great players. And I tell you, we put something in on Monday, and I was like, man, there's no way we can get this by Friday. But we were pretty much done with it by Tuesday at the end of practice. Like, he picked it up that quick, and he just does a great job, and he's just a great representative of our team, of our program, and just an overall great kid from a great family. We're very proud of him, and I think you saw from the first night, I've been talking about him. The capability of this kid's incredible. He can make all the throws. He's just not 6'2". He's 5'11" guy. And but he runs I would say he runs a legit 4.6 40, and we saw a little bit of that last night.
He looks way bigger than 5'11".
Yes, he does.
He does on the field. You sit there watching him. You think he's a kid that's 6'1". He's bigger than that. But we know you're up against it as well. But talk about what you guys have coming up. Next couple of weeks with games you got going on there at Savannah Christian.
Yeah, it's we have Screven County this week at Screven County, and we're actually going to be playing just because of the schedule. And the same thing, Chad, with trying to make Calvary's schedule. It was tough to get a schedule together with all these only 3 region games and trying to find 7 non-region games. And we didn't like the hand we were dealt, but we're going to be playing 7 games in a row. And it's going to be tough. And, we're going to have to be as resilient as possible. And, it's just the nature of the day. We don't know, don't know who you're going to have week to week sometimes. And but that's the upcoming games. And we actually, what's the great opportunity is we have 6, home games this year, and I think that's great. And we got some new turf over at Pooler Stadium, so the kids are excited about that. And so we got Griffin County this week. They look like a great football team. Coach Duncan does a great job, and I'm hoping that we can come out and play our best game and just come with a mentality of practice that we get to practice, as opposed to, man, I don't want to go out there in that heat. But no, we're excited, and our school has done a great job. They've worked tirelessly, worked long hours to figure out this whole pandemic, and it's a different way of doing things, but we've got to be the best we can possibly be at it, and give our kids the best opportunities.
Well, Baker, I know you're up against the clock here, and I know I threw a curveball while I moved everything back because I threw John Nelson at the beginning of the show to talk about Tommy Palmer, and you've heard Tommy Palmer your whole life. You're doing a great job. Keep it up, and as I like to say to my oldest son, it's always a great day to be a Raider.
That's right. It's always a great day to be a Raider. Go Raiders. Carl, thanks for having me on, and Chad, good to see you.
We'll get you back on, and I'm going to talk about your YouTube bass fishing channel.
Yeah, we got to do that. We got to do that. We got to talk about your interest in bass fishing. I mean, you're blowing it up, and you can come back to my pond. There's probably some bass in there too.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be fishing until after this season, and it'll be a while. I mean, my son begging me every day to go fishing, and I was like, well, I got to get this work done for Griffin County, or I'll be out of a job. So,
all right, God, I know you got to get out of here. Enjoy the next show. Have a good one, and once again, appreciate it. Congratulations.
Thanks so much. Hey, next time I want to come to coaches and eat the wings with you guys.
Well, we're still working on the grub and food part.
Okay, all right.
We're not getting food yet. We're not as good as the other show, Rubbin' and Grubbin' yet, so we'll get there.
Maybe if you're here, we'll get some wings.
All right. Appreciate it. Go Raiders. We'll see y'all.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, young guy. I mean,
great.
Like I told you, we had Burnham Smith on 2 weeks ago, and there's a Savannah Christian kid coming over to coach at Calvary. Here's a Calvary kid that went over to BC and then followed, got his own gig at Savannah Christian. Just these young guys are what it's all about. Young guys are what it's all about.
Listen, Baker just does a tremendous job connecting with. I mean, he's like any great coach. You got to be relational.
Oh yeah,
and he is. He's the thing I think people appreciate about Baker, and even in my experience with Baker through the whole thing, he is so genuine on who he is as a person and human being. Mm-hmm. What you see is what you get, and he genuinely cares. He's a great family man. Young kids, young family, and he's just going to be someone who's going to be in this coaching world for the next 30 plus years.
Right.
It's just what it is.
It's what it is. I mean, and he's going to be around. Matt Lezotte's going to be around. Jason Cameron, wanted to get to another spot, went to Vidalia, which, I mean, he's getting hit hard with the COVID-19 out there.
It's crazy.
And that's out in the country. He's not even Savannah.
Well, I mean, look at Statesboro. Statesboro right now is like the hot. Well, you throw Georgia Southern.
You throw Georgia Southern.
But still, I mean,
one of the top 10 party schools in the United States.
Yeah, but even before that, though, Statesboro High School and them were not going back to school. That county itself made a decision.
Right.
And I think that's why you see Bulk Academy doing so well, Carl. I mean, really, it really is. Kids that not go to school or go to Statesboro High School and play football, they found a place to play.
Right.
Let me tell you. And I think that's what you're seeing. You're seeing places. I know talking to Ricky Turner last night at Blessed Trinity. I mean, like just 5 hours before kickoff, Carl. 5 hours. You put in all this time, all this effort through this time, and then you find out 5 hours. Imagine those seniors, what they felt at that time. It was like, we're 3 weeks not playing, especially now you add the reacclimation part back into it. Just to go from 2 weeks, it goes to 3 weeks.
Right.
From that standpoint. So, man, tough deal with for these kids. But great job. Like I said, every school administration is dealing with this every single day. Love what Baker says. One thing, we get to do it. me and you talk about all the things that we got to do.
Right.
But we get to do it to allow our student athletes to get on the courts, get on the fields, and participate in athletics, things they love to do.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And once again, it's the coach and AD. We still got 2 segments to go. We want to go over the scores and the information. We pushed it back because of the tribute to the great voice of Georgia high school football, Tommy Palmer, passing away on Thursday. So we're going to come back with a score board section right here, and then we'll take 3 steps out the door. I get grilled this week, so we'll see if he has some good questions that I gave him last week. But once again, it's the Coach and AD on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, on the Coach's Corner Sports Network, right here on the campus of Coach's Corner. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Got to thank the people who make this happen.
That's right, man.
And who else but
All the time, that's Coach's Corner in Thunderbolt. Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for 12 years running, and it's no wonder why. Sports, live music, delicious and abundant pub food. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. Coach's Corner has been Savannah strong during the COVID-19 pandemic. They are now open for dine-in, lunch, and dinner, but remember, Coach's Corner still has curbside and takeout service. John Harrison and the Coach's Corner crew has still been smoking delicious meats like Boston Butts, ribs, and chicken on the grill. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's 912-352-2933. And don't forget, Saturday night in the Soundgarden is Freebird, the ultimate Leonard Skinner experience. Tickets are priced at $15 to $25, so get yours fast. As always, make it a night to remember at Coach's Corner.
At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School would consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
Over a half century when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, and trophies, Thompson's has got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson's Sports Shop. So come get equipped at Thompson's Sports Shop. They are now located at 42 West Montgomery Crossroads, Suite C in Savannah, are open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. each day. So come visit locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, where everyone is a winner.
Yo, you still want some real New York deli and Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road in Savannah, Georgia during this social distancing problem. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering will take calls for pickup at 912-354-2914. That's 912-354-2914 on the phone, capiche? If you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered, go to savtakeout.com, savtakeout.com to place the order. Remember, Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering, we ain't New York style, we are New York.
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time, it makes you mad, the pain drives you crazy, you just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can, at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
All right, welcome back to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report here live at Coach's Corner, which is the center of the sports universe and the center of the music universe as well.
Yeah,
Thursday,
Freebird tonight.
Yeah.
Freebird.
Get you
Encore.
All the new kids, they don't have lighters, you know.
That's old school like me. When I saw Leonard Skinner, hey, that was my first concert I went to see was Leonard Skinner, and we got Freebird tonight in the Soundgarden. The Leonard Skinner tribute band. Hey, you got so much you can do. You come Wednesday nights for Pub Star Trivia. You come Thursday nights for Nashville Sound. I don't know who the girl was they had out here last Thursday night, but I heard she was unbelievable. Then, of course, we had Friday night. Now we got tonight. All fun, all food, all music, all sports, all the time.
That's right,
you
man.
Think John Henderson could say that 5 times quick?
He probably could, but that's a lot. But we're back here live. We'll go over some scores from last night. Hey, man, high school football kicked off full effect this week. Started with Corkville Classic up in Atlanta. ran through. So this is a stat for you too. So Decula, I forget who they won in 4 overtimes.
Right.
But here's a stat, okay? So the winning team, if I would have told you the winning team only rushed for 6 yards, would you have believed it?
No.
They threw for 433 yards, rushed for 6, and won in 4 overtimes.
Decula. I call it Dacula, but Decula.
I think it's Decula.
Decula. Yeah, that's probably you're probably right. I'm in New York, so I'll say Dacula.
So, yeah.
Okay, but 6 yards. I've never heard
6 yards
that.
rushing. 6 yards rushing, and they were negative going into overtime. 433 yards passing. That's a new rushing, man.
Wow.
Passes. Hey, listen, I'm telling you, watching Van Griffin, those guys last night, those passes into the flat, little, dig routes, 3 or 4 yards out, receivers block. It's the same as rushing, I guess.
But it probably is.
So, hey, we got some scores for you.
Well, we're trying something new here, so bear with us. Through WJCL Sports and Frank, the big guy, Silkowski, and Amy Zimmer, they sent us the highlights of last night. So I'm going to see if I can get it to show you. So hold on one second.
While he's loading this, I'm going to give some rundowns, and we might, if it pops up and starts running, hey, we'll just go with it. All right, but Thursday night kicked off. You had Bullock Academy hosting Savannah Country Day. Savannah Country Day coming off a tremendous year, one region title, all those things. Lost a lot of seniors on offense, defensive line, and they look like had a little bit of trouble with Bullock Academy. Bullock Academy's got one of the best run backs in the state, 4-star run back, offers from all over the place, and they kind of took it to Country Day 32-2, opened up Thursday night. It should not be a surprise. I don't care if they're in Gisa or not. There's really good schools. Baker's going to tell you about John Milledge, who they got to play later in the year. It's a really good school as well. Got D1 kids all over the place. Friday night, right here at Memorial Stadium, Benedictine 58, Burke County 26, where it's cooler and puller. Wasn't really cooler and puller last night. Carl will tell you, it is hot as all get out there. Brand new, beautiful turf, though. Savannah Christian takes it to ECI 38-14. Preschool school in the Marsh, St. Andrews. We had Doug Dixon on Wednesday night. Could not overcome, just couldn't get that offense rolling last night. First one, John Paul 6, St. Andrews nothing. Effingham 21, Grovetown 13. Butler High School took on Bryan County. Butler won that game 34-6. We went up to Prince Avenue, took on one of the best quarterbacks in the country, and we learned why he was one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I tell you, watching Brock Vandergriff throw the ball was one of the most impressive things I've seen in all of high school sports. Phenomenal, 6'3", can run, physical, big, fast, and could just throw lasers. And he was fun to watch. It was impressive. Like, you're sitting there going, all right, I can say I got to watch this kid play, because you're going to see him play on SEC Saturdays, and you're going to see this kid probably play on Sundays. He's got that much arm talent. Bethesda Academy drops a close one at Buford Academy, 36-28. And like I said, Coach Lezotte building the hill. They go down. They went down last night, down 9-5, took on the other Wildcats, and came away with a big 28-11 win. So there's our scores from last night. But college football, you can watch it. You can come to Coach's Corner today, watch live football. But here we go with some highlights here from last night.
How come it's not working? Oh, there we go. But
yeah, it's working.
Hold it. We're trying this, so bear with me. This is a new technique. Bear with me.
So this is BC, Burke County last night at Memorial Stadium.
Zaquan Bryant took off for a 66-yard touchdown. All right, go back. Now we got to try and go back here, Coach.
Scroll back here.
I know, but I'm trying to get the other screen back. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, here we go. Got to thank the big guy, Frank Solkowski, for letting us do this. Okay, it's Zaquan Brown comes around the corner. It's not catching. It's not working on the.
That's all right. We got live up here.
We're trying to see if it works. Bear with us. I will have 2 monitors next week where we'll have the highlights. Same play again? No, this is different.
No, different. But you can see the BC receivers doing a tremendous job blocking on the edge. And Gerner, laser throw, timing right there.
Yeah, it's we got to work it out. I'm trying to watch it. We got it on the big screen right here, Coach's Corner, but we can't get it to come on the video. You see how it's jumping?
Yeah, a little bit lagging.
We're going to need another monitor.
All right.
So now, how do we get back there, boss?
Let's hit escape.
Oh, it says stop sharing right here.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
so we'll get it. You can see it. You know, we'll get in there monitor. It's a big file, so we gotta make sure our upload speed is there. But hey, thank Big Frank for getting that for us. We'll get this worked out. Glad to be here, Coach's Corner, in the air conditioning. Whew, hot one. And we got everything going on the screen behind. So, hey, great show today, man. Great tribute to. We're gonna get there. I'm gonna get there out the door, but I want to talk about new lineup.
Oh,
the
John Nelson
show
and all
and everything, man. We know what Tommy Palmer still means to the state of Georgia in high school football. And I want to find out, I couldn't get on the radio last night. I know that Georgia High Schools gave it 680 The Fan.
Right.
So are they just going to stream it, or should we be able to pick it up on radio stations across the state like we used to?
From what I understand, we should ask John Nelson about this. From what I understand, we should pick it up on all the Georgia High School scoreboard show stations that were affiliated with Tommy Palmer. And, of course, Georgia High School State Association took over the show, the rights to the show from Tommy.
Yeah.
So I think they have, they're trying to work out the detail. But from what I'm told is that it should go with where the
We'll get that
are.
answer, because I was just scanning through last night, after our game, trying to find it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
I know when Tommy was doing it, it was over 50 stations.
Oh my gosh! I mean, you could. That was a great thing when you're driving back from these rural communities. You could just bounce from one radio station to the next and keep it going till you got in Savannah,
right?
And get it. So, that was great. Yeah, we'll get to it. Coach Lezotte, thanks for joining on. He's down St. Simon's. Big win last night for the Wildcats.
Mm-hmm.
Over the Wildcats there in Camden County. Ontario. Tremendous young man, Beach High School, looking for the beats big things. Had to break out game against BC on Halloween night, and then went to a combine, went to a camp. Had really not, his recruiting was not big until that. Then he goes runs a 4.319 at 210 pounds, and then phone starts just blowing up. And he talked to you about why he chose University of South Carolina, that he'll eventually sign his Laramie team. Got a relationship with Coach Munchamp there.
Coach Bobo.
Yeah, and Coach Bobo. And listen, he's going to have one of the top quarterbacks in the country coming in with his class.
Oh, yeah.
As well, in Gunnar Stockton. So that's going to be awesome. And then we got to share a little bit of time with Baker Woodward there. Savannah Christian gets a big win, open up against ECI over there. Pooler, new turf. So, another big test for them this week as well as they travel up to Screven County.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what goes on here. But it was high school football, Friday Night Lights, like you said. Everything today was based on football, and we kicked it off with the tribute to Tommy Palmer. So we got a couple of sports. How do you like conferences who canceled their season and now thinking about bringing it back?
Well, I think they're looking.
It's a big issue right now around the country.
I think they're looking at the paradigm and going, man, we getting ready to lose some Jimmys and Joes.
If we don't do something
to these other schools, and how they can make it work and we not make it work. And I think that's a big part of it. Is I think what they were hoping that it would just be like it did in basketball season,
right?
Where one did it, Ivy League did it, and then the dominoes just started to fall.
Yep.
Well, listen, we're 7 months into this, and those dominoes are going to keep falling. So people are just figuring out how to make it work with those dominoes. I think before, I could understand it. No one knew what was really going on. And I can't sit here today, Carl, and tell you that we truly know much more today than what we knew 7 months ago.
True.
There's more science. We understand, hey, wearing masks, wash your hands, all that stuff's very important. And you're seeing that. You watched highlights last night. Cheerleaders have on masks. People in the stadium have on masks. We get it. But there's people are figuring it out. And I think what the Big Ten and others were hoping is like, all right, these dominoes are just going to fall. But the thing about NCAA football, Carl, there is no commissioner.
Right.
There's no one that can make a blank decision like the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball. There's no one person. And I'm probably really glad for that at this point. because if you probably have one person making that decision, you might have people then leaving the NCAA.
Right.
That's why football is not part of the NCAA anyhow. That's why I think people need to understand when it comes to Division II and below. Yeah, but Division I football, they got to follow rules from the NCAA, but they're not guided by NCAA. And so, you're seeing. I think there are people that just realize, hey, golly, maybe we jumped the gun on this, and I don't know. Like you said, how's it going to affect playoffs, bowl games, and the Heisman? Well, if you ain't a part of it, you ain't a part of it.
No, you're not.
I mean,
I agree with you 100%. If you're not part of it, you shouldn't be part of it. And when I heard this, and I know we're going a little long-winded here, but
all right. We got
from
time.
what I heard is there's some schools out there that they can test their players in 20 minutes and know if they're COVID-19 positive.
Oh yeah, I mean,
when did this happen?
Well, it's about how much you're willing to pay for the test.
Oh, okay.
Like I know at Savannah State, their test was pretty. They went with a company, free instantaneous test, and if you tested, you went. Everybody got tested. Then you went to another line. If you tested positive, you tested negative. You got, and so there's ways to do it.
Right.
I mean, you look at the last week's game between Central Arkansas and Austin Peay. They tested every player, both teams. Mm-hmm. Less than 24 hours at 0 positive test. Now, granted, is testing perfect right now? No, it's still not perfect. But I think you're just finding out if you keep people in a bubble as much as you can, you wear masks, you will limit the exposure to it. And that's kind of the whole thing is, hey, people are just figuring out how we work with it. Like Baker said, hey, we don't know what tomorrow. We might not have certain players. Matt said it. Baker said it. Every coach is saying it. Hey, you might not have this player, that player week to week, or you might have, depending on their policy, shutting down a whole program like West Trinity did. And, but people will figure it out, making choices and how we do it. But you're right, man. I mean, listen, the games we have today.
On tap, there's a whole bunch of them if you want to watch college football.
Yeah, let's go.
We
got
go
over that real
Eastern
quick.
Kentucky against Marshall at 1 o'clock. Our local boy Jeremy Smith is not dressing out due to that, short numbers on the sidelines for Marshall, so he won't be dressing out today. That's at 1 o'clock. 1:30, Jeff Munkin, former coach at Georgia Southern, taking on Middle Tennessee. His young man from Islands High School, James Shellman. I don't know if he's suiting up tonight. So for Middle Tennessee, Army, is Herndon there, or did he graduate?
He graduated, so he finished. He could have came back. He had back surgery. He could have came back and played a year, but he's going to graduate in December. So things like his requirements that he needed to do to get done in December, he's not playing this year.
And at 4:30, this is all. Army against Middle Tennessee is on CBS Sports Network. Okay, CBS Sports Network. You can probably watch it online. The rest of them are on ESPN. SMU, Southern Methodist University, that program that got the death penalty way back when, is back. They'll take on Texas State at 4:30. At 7:30 on ESPN3, you got Houston Baptist against North Texas. Okay, and at 8 o'clock on ESPN in the Liberty Bowl, we got Arkansas State taking on Memphis, the Tigers. Okay, young
Red
man.
Wolves. That's one of my favorite mascots
right
there.
And then at 9 o'clock, Stephen E. Austin taking on UTEP. So that's, you can watch football all day long.
You know what I love about this, though, Carl, is all these schools, who are not your typical. You will usually find them on ESPN3 or ESPN Plus. They're getting all these primetime games. You look at how Georgia Southern, they redid their schedule and the TV games that they have.
I know.
You have to be ecstatic.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a kid playing at Georgia Southern, playing at any of these kind of second-tier D1 schools, man, you're prime time right now, and everybody is so hungry to watch college athletics and watch college football. Like,
take advantage.
You're going to feel like you're the main event.
Yep.
And you are the main event. So, man, and this is awesome. Enjoy this for sure.
And, of course, the Braves played a doubleheader yesterday. We'll go to step 3. So step 1 was high school. This should be 3 off the top. So the top step was high school. Second step was college. Now the third step, professional, Braves, Falcons, okay. Savannah Banana is not really professional, but I put them into the professional. And, then, of course, Tormentor up there in Statesboro. But the Braves won their doubleheader. Well, sorry, they split the doubleheader last night. They had a 5-game winning streak after they won the first game, 7-1. Ronald Acuna Jr. comes back and hits 2 home runs. Okay, Dansby Swanson added another one. Washington's been struggling, but you know what? They won the first one, 7-1. That was win 5 in a row In the second game, okay, they lost 10-9 to the Nationals. It was a home run fest. The Braves hit 4 home runs. Acuna hit another one, okay, but they lost 10-9. So tonight they'll play up in Atlanta. Left-hander, undefeated. Max Fried goes. He's 6-0, 1.60 ERA. All right, so he's going to try and remain undefeated, and he's only given up 8 runs in his first 8 starts. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, and they need to stay hot because Philadelphia
is hot.
I mean, they've made it through the dog days, and they are coming out their side. You know, Bryce Harper and those guys, they're figuring it out, and they're hot on the heels of the Braves. So it's so crazy to think that over usually a 162-game schedule, here we are 60 games halfway through the season.
Right.
I mean, it is going to be a fast and furious last 30 games here to see who can get to the end.
All right, pro football starting next weekend.
Yeah, Falcons play at home twice during the first month of the season. They'll play host the Seahawks on the 13th and host the Bears on the 27th. I think no fans to start with.
No fans.
No fans to start with. Same thing, found out from my Carolina Panthers, no fans. My dad's a little bit disturbed, especially, because they've not told season ticket holders what games they're going to have yet. And so, oh, man.
Next Sunday, NFL football starts. You heard it right. NFL football starts. The Falcons take on the Seahawks in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Okay, and on the other side, wearing number 31 from Glenn Academy, from the University of Miami. The U. Okay, DJ Dallas. I'm excited about seeing that game, so that'll be a lot of fun. Other teams are doing the same thing with no fans. Tennessee Titans, New England Patriots. Okay, so we'll see what happens. Savannah Bananas, last game is today. They're finally done. I got to give Jesse Cole, Emily Cole, Jared Orton, Barry Aldridge. They were here. Biko, Nico Scala, Nick Scala. I mean, they made it through a whole season.
And they
Unbelievable.
provided
a lot of relief.
A lot of entertainment. You're talking about a sprint, Carl.
Yep.
For those guys over there at Grayson Stadium and what they were able to do and how they were doing it. They were going to make sure that Savannah and they were going to have it. The rest of the league didn't happen. Hey, these 3 teams, Lexington Blowfish, Macon Bacon, they made it happen. So all their ownership of those 3 teams.
Hey, don't forget about the Savannah Party Animals.
Yeah, Savannah Party Animals, the 4th team that snuck in there and provided entertainment for everybody. So man, great job with them. I know they will sleep well for the next couple of weeks, and I guarantee you they'll be back to the drawing board, figuring out what next season's going to look like and how they're going to provide entertainment, the best entertainment here in the Low Country for our community.
And the Bananas clinched the Breakfast Bowl on Wednesday. On Thursday night, they presented the trophy to the fans. I mean, it was cool. It was really cool, okay? It's a big silver bowl with a little spoon in it, okay? 2 bananas holding up the sides, the bacon in the middle supporting it, and, of course, the Bananas won the Breakfast Bowl. So right now they've won 7 out of 8 games. Tonight's the last one in Macon. You can watch it on the Bananas Insiders with Biko.
Last time.
Hey, he signed a contract. He's going to be coming back next summer. They signed the contract with him. They got him for another year.
So I wonder, he was talking about he's engaged, isn't he?
Right. Mm-hmm. He's going to work it out. He's going to be working from New York and here. Hey, Biko did it. So anyway, pro golf.
Biko, all right, sorry, I got
go back to Biko.
Are you going back? If you're going back to Jersey, right?
No, New York, Queens.
Yeah, you're going back to Queens. Okay. If you're not going back to Queens and your fiance girlfriend is coming down here, let me know. We will get you at the day school doing some stuff, man. You can come call the games up there. So if you're listening, you see this later, we're going to reach out to you, man.
Yeah, I mean, you can have a part-time job over there.
That's right, man. We'll get you going.
Heartbreaker for Brian Harmon. Last week at the PGA, the BMW Championship, he finished 3 over, but tied for 12th. He finished in the FedEx Cup standings at 37th. The top 30 went on, and they're playing it this week. They're playing the what do we call it? The PGA Championship up in Atlanta. Yeah. All right, so I think Dustin Johnson and John Rome are tied, but only the top 30 in the FedEx Cup standings went to the next round. He missed it by 7 spots. Had a great last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it was on fire.
But,
stay with it.
He was right there.
Yeah, it was right there. Hey,
Right
listen, Tiger didn't make it.
Nope.
You know, others great.
A lot of other great golfers didn't make it.
But Harmon caught fire towards the end of the season there and
Mhm.
really got himself in position. Like you said, just a matter. I mean, so close to moving on. But, hey, as they get back to some normalcy, and they're talking about golf's done a great job, man. They were the first ones to go back.
Yep.
Yes, we know you can social distance in golf, but listen, they ran their show. They put on exhibitions. They did all these things, you know, getting it back and doing a great job. People have figured it out.
Yep. And we can't forget about the PGA Seniors Tour. The lefty, Phil Mickelson, made his debut, 22 under. But we do have a guy from Savannah, Gene Sowers. Right now, he's tied for 35th. The top 45 will go on to the Charles Schwab Cup Championship, but that's not till December. So he'll return to the golf course. Gene Sowers, of course, from Georgia Southern, Windsor Forest. He'll return to the tournament September 11th, next weekend, at the Sanford International, Minnehaha Country Club. That's got to be an Indian name.
You got it.
Minnehaha Country Club in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And, of course, we got a local soccer team one step below the professionals, and that's the Tormenta Soccer Club or football club out of the South Georgia Tormenta Football Club out of Statesboro. They're 2-4-2. They lost last night to their rivals, the Greenville Triumph Football Club, 2-1. They'll return next Friday night in Statesboro. They'll take on Union Omaha. Right now, the Tormenta Club is in 5th place. They'll take on the 3rd place Union Omaha at home next Friday night.
Yep.
That's all the sports news we got for you. Locally, we'll come back. We'll do 3 out the door really quickly. He'll get to grill me this week. You're listening to Coach and AD right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network, the universe of sports.
Center of it.
Sorry, the center of the universe. Universe of sports.
Center of the sports universe.
And, you know, our other show on the Coach's Corner Sports Network, Rubbin' and Grubbin', they get grubbing. They get food at the end here. I guess we got to put an order in at when we get in here at 8:15. That we might get some.
We're going to model. I think it's they always have somebody that's modeling their food.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's it.
That might be the trick. So, once again, we'll be right back after this. We got to thank our sponsors.
All the time, that's Coach's Corner and Thunderbolt. Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for 20 years running, and it's no wonder why. Sports, live music, delicious and abundant pub food. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. Coach's Corner has been Savannah strong during the COVID-19 pandemic. They are now open for dine-in, lunch, and dinner, but remember, Coach's Corner still has curbside and takeout service. John Harrison and the Coach's Corner crew has still been smoking delicious meats like Boston Butts, ribs, and chicken on the grill. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's 912-352-2933. And don't forget, Saturday night in the Soundgarden is Freebird, the ultimate Leonard Skinner experience. Tickets are priced at $15 to $25, so get yours fast. As always, make it a night to remember at Coach's Corner.
At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School would consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
Over a half century when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, and trophies, Thompson's has got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. So come get equipped at Thompson Sports Shop. They are now located at 42 West Montgomery Crossroads, Suite C in Savannah, are open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. each day. So come visit locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, where everyone is a winner.
Yo, you still want some real New York deli and Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road in Savannah, Georgia during this social distancing problem. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering will take calls for pickup at 912-354-2914. That's 912-354-2914 on the phone, capiche? If you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered, go to savtakeout.com, savtakeout.com to place the order. Remember, Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering, we ain't New York style, we are
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time, it makes you mad, the pain drives you crazy, you just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can, At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And welcome back. It's the Coach and AD. It's a Saturday morning. We're glad you could join us right here on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. Every Saturday morning on the internet, on Facebook Live, the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, on YouTube Live, the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, on Twitter, on KD Sports Report, and we are part of the Coach's Corner Sports Network, so we're on the Coach's Corner Facebook page live. I mean, 145. I mean, a great lineup. Like you said, we thank John Nelson from Georgia Public Broadcasting Sports Division, the journalist, just
everything, man.
Tommy Palmer. I mean, so thanking him, come on in and paying respects to Tommy Palmer. Then, of course, Matt Lezotte, big win. Richmond Hill beats Camden County last night, 28-11. I didn't think it was that much of an upset. But, Antario Brown, young man out of AE Beach High School, Wetherington Chiropractic.
Cannot wait to see him take the field in October, man.
If you read the story that Dennis Knight did in the Savannah Morning News, I'm going to blow it up. Ontario Brown signs with South Carolina, University of South Carolina. The kid's overcome a lot. And, people who do that, I mean, there's not more I could say. And then, of course, Baker Woodward fitting us in between shows that he's on. Savannah Christian with a big win last night, 38-14 over ECI. And then it's time to get out of here. So 3 steps out the door.
Yeah, man, I got some random questions for you today. I always like to ask them. Things I didn't know either, looking up. All right, so in Greek mythology, all right.
That's not sports related?
No, I'm hitting you today.
Oh,
right.
okay.
Greek mythology here. These are non-sports questions.
I got you.
All right. Who was, in Greek mythology, what was the name of the first woman on Earth? All right, I'll give you a hint. It is currently a streaming music service.
Streaming music?
Yeah. So first woman on Earth in Greek mythology, what was her name, is currently a streaming music service. You got Spotify and what else? You ever stream music? Podcast?
No, I don't.
Pandora.
Don't open Pandora's box.
All right.
Pandora. Okay. Yeah, I know the story about Pandora, but I didn't know she was the first woman on Earth.
In Greek mythology.
In Greek mythology. I thought it was Eve, but.
All right.
I do know my Bible.
I know you do. All right. So what country consumes the most chocolate in the world?
Oh, you would think it'd be Switzerland or the Netherlands. Switzerland.
You got it.
Well, hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Hot chocolate. Switzerland.
That's all you're going with?
That's what I'm going with.
Nice.
That's my final decision. That's my final choice.
Yeah, stop there. I was going to stop you. Don't say anything else. Don't say you got it. Don't. What was you going to say when you're going through it, though?
I want a piece of chocolate so bad. That's all I'm thinking right now. But I've been good on it. But yeah, I mean, Switzerland, the Netherlands, that whole area.
Yeah, Switzerland consumes the most chocolate on Earth. You got it. All right. And what was the first toy advertised on TV?
Wow.
First toy advertised on TV.
Wow.
I didn't get this one here when I looked it up.
Wow.
You can. I mean,
it's not the yo-yo or the hula hoop.
I'll give you a hint.
Let me go back into the 20s and 30s when TV came on in the late 30s.
You can add things to it. You can take away things to it. You could dress it a little bit. I don't say dress it might not be because there's no.
What is he? He knows it.
Say it again. Mr. Potato Head.
Mr. Potato Head was the first toy on TV.
First toy advertised on TV.
I remember I used to love the commercial where Mrs. Potato Head would come and knock it and his eye would go somewhere.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Mr. Potato Head. Toy Story.
Yeah. There we go, man.
But anyway, we thank you for joining us. And like I said, we started the show. The voice of Georgia high school football, Tommy Palmer, passed away Thursday night. And he's going to be missed dearly. And we'll find out where you can find the Georgia High School Scoreboard show. Now the Georgia High School State Association has taken it. We know that 680 The Fan in Atlanta is overseeing it. And talking to John Nelson, who came in, who was Tommy's good buddy. They did podcasts and shows and everything else. I didn't even think about that. So, you know what? I didn't even think about listening to it till last night. I just didn't.
Well, I mean, as soon as we got in the car last night, started driving back from Bogart, I started trying to hit channels.
Right.
Because I figured I'm not that far outside of Atlanta. Maybe I can find it. Just couldn't find it.
Right.
And so that was, I mean, took a little air of my sails, just driving back. It's like, man, I just want to hear some scores. I want to hear.
Well, it was a tradition with me, like I told you, since 2005 to be part of that show. And then, usually I was, for the last 6 years, I was on the radio calling Friday night football games. And I'd get in the car, I'd make my report, and then listen to Tommy Palmer. But I guess because I wasn't in the car last night after a football game and just thought about what I had to do for the show today and make sure that I had everything right. I wanted to get that video up for about Tommy Palmer. And, it just was something I didn't think about. But we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out.
we got to find out because
Yeah,
we're going to be at games now. And, next week, you got a game home. I don't think there's another game home next week, is there?
Coach Day, ECI.
ECI is home. So ECI is coming back to Savannah.
I think so. So
that's
what it is.
And we'll have the video to work. As you can see over our shoulder, is the screen that goes up to the projector screen. What I got to do is come up with another laptop where I could share the screens, and we're going to have the highlights from the big guy, Frank Solkowski, every Saturday morning from WJCL, Amy Zimmer. We appreciate it. Just a great night. And why not? Let's see the highlights. If you missed it, if you didn't watch it Friday night, well, you can watch it Saturday morning with us.
That's right, man. That's gonna be awesome. We'll get that going. See student athletes do it, and Amy Zimmer and Big Frank doing their thing, man. With everybody out there, high school football's back. We appreciate you guys. We love you. Hey,
what's the 3 things we got to do here? Oh, you forgot yours this week, but I'll do it.
You got to mask up.
Mask up. Wash those hands.
Or hand sanitize.
Oh,
right.
I left it on the table.
It's all right.
I should. Well, we got to think about our props next week.
Oh yeah, we'll get some props.
We got to bring our props in. But you want a Coach's Corner face mask? Come get it. So, but remember, social distance, and we're going to be able to go to football games. We're going to be able to go hang out with people and see what we got to do. Both of us have been tested. We're negative, so we're not worried about catching the COVID-19 virus from each other. But once again, remember, we're here every Saturday morning from 9 until 11 now. That's the cutoffs with 11 or longer, okay? All right, it's on Facebook Live, on YouTube Live, on Twitter Live. It's all part of the Coach's Corner Sports Network. Don't forget, we'll be back Wednesday night following the other Coach's Corner show, Rubbin' and Grubbin' with Dan Foles and Brandon Bain, and, of course, the producer. We got to get him to come produce our show.
Yeah,
Lawrence Bennett does a great job. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. Whatever you may be doing today, hit it out of the park.
Come out tonight.
Yeah, come out tonight. Free bird. Free bird in the Sound Garden.
Man, there'll be some cameras going tonight. Let me tell you.
Yeah, well, hopefully they'll have a good encore. So once again, that's here tonight at 7 o'clock. Check out the tickets on Eventbrite. And until Wednesday night, like I said, we'll be back. May it be best week ever. We're out of here. Be safe. God bless. And Tommy Palmer.
Love you.
Love you. Rest in peace.